All right, I'm tired of waiting, and I'm set up. I'm all ready to go, so why let a timer tick? So, I've been doing quite a few streams lately working on the Comet animations, and today I'm going to keep going on that. Having a lot of fun with it, and it's coming together so nicely. I am really happy with the progress. So I'm going to switch over to my screen, just show you guys kind of where we're at, and then talk about what we'll work on today. So let's load this up. The sample that I've been working on is inside of Comet samples. I'm working from a branch on the Comet repo / animations. And this is what I'm going for. So we'll just able to say, hey, text view dot animate, and then we'll say the duration's 3 seconds. It repeats. And I also have this auto reverses. And I'll show you why, or why is that important, because I was asked, what's the point of this thing? And then during the animation, all it's going to do is change the background color to blue, the color to orange, and then the font size to 30. So let's go into this animation sample. We watch that text grow and then switch colors. You'll notice how it breathes back down to orange. Typically in animations, if you have a repeating animation and you just have one action like that, watch what it does. It goes to blue and then starts back over from the beginning. So I wanted to make sure that it would do this like, um, yes, I do love Mountain Dew. Unfortunately, I get made fun of for that. I try and limit myself to one a day, and I'm pretty good about that when I'm at home. In the offices, it's horrible. But yes, glad you're hanging out here. It's fun. But so yeah, it does this like little like just tick right back to the beginning. Now this is what you want it to do if you're doing like a spin rotation, right? So like a progress bar, you spin that thing around 360, you don't want that to then go in reverse and start over. I mean, maybe you would depending on what you're doing, but to be able to have like these just, I just want something to pulse, having to do the work of like code it forward and backwards is lame. So just throwing in this auto reverses, then it just plays backwards. All right. Now the current animation framework, a couple things that have been done on this is it lets you just animate basically anything. Anything you can think of that you can do in here. I'm trying to remember what all we have. We have background color, and right now I'm doing them all separate. You can chain these. It's Comet. This is the same thing. But I'm trying to think, what other properties do we do on the fonts? I don't even know on a text. Text is pretty basic. But yeah, any of these extension methods style properties, even on custom controls, ones that I didn't build, if they follow this pattern, everything will auto animate, which is really exciting. Anything that I've taught it how to lerp between. And what that is the concept of lerping, in case people aren't familiar with that. With lerping, you say, all right, the progress is 50%, then here are the two values. And actually, I think I have my lerp command backwards. Typically, I think you do start and progress. I probably should fix that. But yes, typically you say these are the two values. Actually, let's do that while we're in here because this is bad. That's going to drive me nuts. Because that's the real way of doing this. And man, spam calls are just everywhere today. Let's fix this. And now we can fix all these. But what this does is it says for these two values, go through and calculate what that animation would be based on that progress. And with most things, it's pretty simple. I mean, with an integer, you just take the percent of how far through it is and you return that. And the same with most basic values. I did do color, which is a more complicated one. And this isn't going to work until, let's stop this. Can't refresh this code anyway. Fix all these. But what it does is we can teach it how to lerp between any two objects and then what the value back would be. So John Lipsky and I were talking about doing shape morphing. So for like the border, if you set a border, it uses shapes, right? So you could actually morph between a rounded rectangle to a square to a star or whatever once we teach it how to lerp between two shapes. And there's a couple different ones you might want to use, like you might want to do it to where it just does the default probably just be a morph, or you can make it to where it does whatever, like collapses on itself and then pops back out. It's just up to, I mean, you can design whatever lerps you want and just teach it how to go between the two values. All right, get lerp. Lerp is used in animation. Let's fix this so it's passed in right. All right, now progress goes in last. All right, there we go. Now our lerp is accurate everywhere. And I'm going to commit that because that is, whoa, why does it do that? All right, oh, I didn't commit the Android stuff yet. All right, I did just add a new ticker for Android. So the way this thing works is I have a built-in ticker that works for .NET. And I also have this ticker, hold on, let me finish this, checking what I checked. That will do separate. We have that one, Android, add that in. Added Android ticker. And there's a reason that we have the platform specific ones as well. In the platform specific ones on iOS, it's going to, and on Mac, it's going to tie it directly to the frame rate of the screen that it's on, which is really nice that it'll match. So you're not wasting battery as you're animating and you don't have to. We're also doing it on Android because on Android, if you're in low power mode, it actually disables all the animation. So we're going to tie into those native features. And on Android, we'll again tie into whatever the animator says you should refresh at. And then they disable it, which is pretty awesome. So let's do that Android ticker and added global disable for animations. So that way Android can turn animations off. All right, wait a minute, yes, that looks good. Commit that. Now what we just did was we fixed the lerping, some code formatting. Let's just do this code formatting in a separate one. All right, so we've got that. That looks good. Lerp delegate is now in the right order. Better, and then we'll do this code formatting. All right, so I want to keep working on some animation stuff. Right now I've added that auto reverse, which is really nice, and I'm really enjoying this auto reverse. But there's a couple things that we can't do yet. I'm trying to think about some more complicated scenarios. Like you want to pause or resume animations. We don't have that now with any of the stuff. So yeah, I need to give you a way to pause an animation, to reset an animation. Reset's technically there, it's just not exposed because you have no way to get access to animations. Or like cancel all things like that. Keyframes. So keyframes are already technically there to an extent. I need to do chaining, which is what you're talking about with that. So right now, and I don't have a way to chain them yet, and that's something that we need to do. Because right now, I just don't expose that stuff to you. So yes, we'll get there. So what we need to do is have some sort of, I'm wondering if it'd be like this. Tell me if you like this. Animate, I'm trying to think what this would be. It'd be multiples. But, I basically need a way for you to specify we're going to do multiple of these blocks in succession. I don't know what to call that. Would it be like frames, and then we let you do multiple callbacks in there? Yeah, in WPF it does the storyboard stuff. We're not going, that doesn't really match with Comet though. That's part of the problem with that. What I basically need to do is have a way for you to specify multiple of these animates, and then we'll just run them in order. And so you'd be able to say, when this one ends, do this, and with these you do have a delay, like 5 seconds later, this delays, so you can do that. And So we need to have a couple different things. One is run all of these at the same time, which those you don't need anything special for. You can just do dot and like go to the next view and animate it or dot animate. And so you can do multiples of these, and all of these are now all going to run together and in a row. What we do need, and you may want a way to collect these into like an animation collection. So you'll say all of these are grouped. So if I reset the parent, it resets them all. So we probably will want that so you don't have to keep track of each animation. So like an animation group. And then the animation group should have multiple different options, like run all in a row or, yeah. I really like this syntax, but I'm trying to think how that syntax is going to work when we start dealing with grouped things, or not just group. You might want to have it where they all run at the same time or in succession. So as soon as one finishes, then run the next one, and then you don't even have to think about timing or math for the delays and stuff like that. That could work. The biggest issue with that is this animate does not return an animation object, it returns the text object. So we can do that, but to do that, we'd have to do something to where it does dot, like begin animation or something like that. Something like that could easily work. Just wonder if we should work on something like that today. Um, right now, and I may need to change this anyway, so where you can get access. I need to fix it to where you can get access to the animations for that view, so we know where the animations are coming from. I mean, so that way you have a way to access it, so you can do like view.get animations or view.get active animations is probably what it'll be. And animations do clear themselves out once they're completed, which maybe I want to change that. Maybe that should be an option. I guess they don't have to kill themselves. Right now, I just added that last night, or maybe this morning I added that. I don't know. What do you guys, I mean, yeah, that Fluent Link type API could definitely work. I could do something to where we just new up an animation like this. And instead of this translates to, we wouldn't have any of that. It would be like new animation. And then you would have like animate equals. And now here you would be like animated text dot whatever. So I wouldn't make you do any of this nonsense, like rotate. We don't even have rotation, but when we do, you just do dot rotate. So we are gonna get like all of that stuff's gonna pop up. But we could do something like this with this animation block. Where we say, hey, get me this new animation, and then we can chain these. So we can also say, so oh, if we did that, we could then do animate and let you pass in a new animation. And this would be, you'd be able to just pass these in as many of them as you want. Hmm. And that would create them all as one animation. Or we could introduce some sort of an animation grouping so that way you can say these run. So if I did this, I could say like the default would be sequential equals false probably because you'd probably want them to all run at once. But then we could say like sequential true and just add these animations in here. What do you guys think? Any thoughts on that? Yeah, my biggest thing with that link fluent API thing is right now everything returns the view, or else you can't do this initializer syntax. And so the moment we change it to something else, it's not going to work right. And this would still do the same, to be honest, we'd still pass back. The view that owns it is going to get passed back into here. And if there can still do things like that, so that way the next one will, even after, since they're sequential, still wait before starting. Wish I never had squiggles, it'd be easier to read it. Do I like that? If I do this, I'm probably going to rename this animation class because this is like an animation, or we'll create a different name for this. I don't know if that name makes sense. I mean, they both make sense, but I think it should be a different class, what describes the animation that's about to happen, and then the actual animation itself. I mean, there's nothing stopping even from doing this. Dot animate x dot frame. No, that's set frame, right? Or whatever. X dot color. I don't know if I think that's easier to read than object initializer though. I mean, we don't really use object initializer in Comet, so it probably should follow that pattern. Yeah. Okay. All right. Fluent animate. Ease in. Hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. That over. Yeah, no, thank you. I'm just trying to parse that and then put it into how that would work. So this is good if you're just doing the chain, do this, 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 then this. But I'm also thinking about you want to fire off 3 animations at once. I mean, I guess on this one, like I was saying before, you can just do .animate, .animate, and then those two are going to run at the same time. So maybe this should default to always sequential. Hmm. Or we could do dot animation group. Yeah, it's the fun part about designing a new API without thinking it through all the way, trying to figure it all out. I mean, I could do dot animation group. I wonder if we did something like this. I don't know if I like that. I didn't say then do like dot end group or something like that. So once you started on this animation group, you would then do the same dot animate, and it would have this same exact API. So that way the API doesn't change. And then you do like dot end group or something like that. Because then all you have is a syntax to say, hey, I'm starting a chain. Then you still have the same exact API you're used to. That I could make work. And I wouldn't say end group, that's a horrible name. Would that be clean? It kind of goes along with that same then do this, then do this, then do that. Without introducing a new API. I make a completely new way of doing things. Such a long name. Complete, or would you say end? Hmm. Maybe I'll go with that. Yeah, I think it's clean. It doesn't change up the paradigm a lot. All right, let's try building it. See what it does. Can't hurt. All right. So to do that, go back to our animation. Hmm. Animation sequence. I don't even know if I need this class, but I'm going to add it for now, just for ease of working, and maybe we'll kill it. I may need something though. Public view. You know, I don't even think we need the complete. if we do an implicit cast on this animation sequence back to a view, it won't come out typed. We can type it though. Something to think about. Oh well, for now, we'll add the close. All right. Then on this, we will do now one thing I was thinking about how these animation sequences work. We're not going to want to execute them right away. All right, so public. That's because I don't want to reuse those same classes. Actually, I don't have music on. Fix that. All right, so now no, I didn't keep with lerp t. Lerp t is not there. We went with just lerp. And it bit me for not making it typed because that actually caused issues last night. Last night when I was doing this font stuff, I'm like, oh, let's just add fonts. It should technically work without me doing anything. Fonts should scale. Oh, you were right. Right. So yes, had I typed these like we talked about, that wouldn't have ever had that bug last night would have never happened. But you were right. Can't just cast a double to a float stuff. Causes issues when it's done the wrong place. All that fun boxing. So yeah, I'm just thinking this through, but I think this is the API we're going to go with. Where we'll do something like begin animation sequence, and then we'll just do all those animates. What I'm trying to figure out right now is how to reuse that same animate thing without redoing it. And I think I know what to do. All right, so I wonder if I can. So here's the thing that I'm dealing with right now. Here's my thought process. So right now we have our animation extension, right? The animation extension is going to actually call and execute this action. And then that action just sets all the properties. What it then does is say, hey, what changed? And then it goes through and creates the animation based off of that. I'm wondering if we should tell it, while we're monitoring these changes, don't actually apply anything. Because right now, it's still going to apply those values and freak everything out. The only way this could be an issue is if you have multiple things firing and they're setting things here. We're going to do it. This will make our animation stuff a lot better. Oh, actually that can't work. All right, so what I was thinking about is, so we're going to have all these animation sequences in a row, right? We can't execute the next animation sequence until the previous one's done because we don't know what the old values are going to be. Say frame, if you move it up and over, if I execute them all at the beginning, they're all going to start from that first position. So that can't be right. So as we do these chains.animate, we're going to need to execute that action at the right time. Animation. We're gonna make this animation sequence an animation, and we're gonna override things. Public animation sequence. We are going to take that same exact thing from our extensions, but we're not going to do it the same way. We actually don't need everything, but I think this will work. And we don't need any of this. We don't need that. It's going to return itself. Action. Oh, those sent out nice typed views. The question is, do we type T this animation? It needs to be actually. It does. All right, which is actually works out for us. We'll need that. And then we're also going to do where T is view. Animation sequence. All right, now let's do the first one as well. Right. That's just because it sets the default easing. Turn, animate. And it's going to be easing dot. Did I not do that right? No. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Animate easing dot cubic in out. Is that our default? I just want them to match. Yep. Actually, let's go and do this. Now we can just do that and we can change that wherever we want. So that way that will match everywhere else. I like that. All right, so now we're setting that default. Animate. Now action. I don't know if we still need the completed. Delay, repeats, auto reverses. Okay, so we're going to need to do this animation step, which is just basically going to capture all that data. Action and easing step, of course, is going to need to be a T as well. So that way, when it comes time, we can still animate the same way. Maybe we'll put this all into I need to turn this into the animation thing so it returns us an animation. And then from there, we won't add it to the animation manager because we want it to return to ourselves. And we will have it do it from this. And I'm not going to make it an extension method because I don't want it showing up. All right, so we'll do that. And we'll also do the same where t. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move most of this logic because I just want to be able to reuse it. I don't want to do that again twice because we're going to find issues in here and we're going to do all this stuff. All right, and this should be actually animation. Actually, what it can do is it can put this into one animation for us. For the grouped animation, okay, var parent animation equals new. Actually, what we can, yeah, we'll do this. Now we'll do parent animation dot add this in here. Actually, I don't know if that's how I want to do it. All right, so here's what I'm torn between. Right now, our animation has this whole children animation. And as we add them, they will all add at once. What we can do, instead of creating this additional class, we can keep track of how many there are. I just want to keep this code simple, but I still want it to be efficient. So we don't need this parent class if only one property changed. We can just return the animation. So if change properties dot count equals 1, I wonder if we want to save that and just say, hey, if so, return, else add it to a list. List animation. If is greater than 1, equals new this guy. And then right here we'll say if animations equals null, return animation, else animations dot add. Let's fix that so it's actually doing the plural one. All right. Of course, let's set it to null. All right. So the reason we're doing that is we don't have to create this parent thing if needed. Now, let's just do that so we're not doing an empty animation that does absolutely nothing. Nothing changed, we're not doing crap with it. All right, so now we have this animation thing. Now that we're here, we're going to want to create the grouped animation that all runs at the same exact time. So let's think that through. We'll probably put onto animations. Right now I have animation.create auto reversing. Let's do this. Animation, array, animations, and params goes first, right? That syntax right? All right. So we'll say var animation, var parent equals new animation. On this, I don't think, since this is going to have children, I don't have to fill out. I don't have to zero. I'll have zero start delay. The duration is actually going to be the sum of all of them, which is what I do when I create these. I set what the duration is. The repeats will match whatever the first one is because they should all get the same data when we're doing it from there. Okay. I don't know if I like this. We'll just do this for now. What this will do, children animations. Can do that, can't I? An object reference is required for the non-static field. I need to do equals, huh? Yes, thank you. All right. Oh, it's not gonna let me just add because it's add range doesn't work. So lame. Can I do, will it let you do this as a list when you're doing params? Also lame. Also lame. All right. So does children is, oh, it's already created. Okay. We'll just do parent equals animations dot to list. All right. That should be good. And we're just going to return this parent for right now. I could do, all right, let's go back to the extensions. Actually, let's change this. Let's going back on myself. Can you do params in instructor? Let's do that because that'll make more sense. That'll be cleaner. The biggest thing is I need to set these not to repeat. When it gets children, all the children need to be told not to repeat. Actually, we'll leave them as it is. I don't know what'll happen. It might be fine. All right. No, yeah, it can't repeat because I'm thinking about when they're done in a sequence, all the children don't repeat because the parent repeats. I guess it won't matter here because they have the exact same duration. It's only an issue for the reversing one. I run into that. So I think we'll be fine. And oh, do I not have a blank animation one? Let's go grab that one. Bring it up. All right, that'll be better. Now looking at animation sample or extensions, what we'll do here, we'll say new animations and we're going to pass in animations. Can't. All right, we are going to change this to, since I don't care, done. Take that. All right, so now we'll do duration equals duration, easing equals easing, repeats equals repeats, start delay equals start delay. Actually, I don't even need start delay because each of them are going to have their own start delay, which is fine. I don't need start value or any of those. Value changed equals, I don't even need value changed on that. I think that'll do it. So now I can do create animation, view, easing, action, completed, duration, delay, repeats, auto reverses. Now animation, what is it, animation manager? Yeah, dot add animation. Now let's make sure it still builds and our old animations aren't broken by that. All right, this will be fun. Let's hope it works. Animation still works. I like it. And actually, that one probably, no, that returned an animation group, didn't it? I'm just curious what that created now. Because that should have created this animation group, which has a reversing animation inside of it. Let's go back. So this one has one that has one of those that goes backwards for each of them. I don't have the children. You can't view the children on public. Children's, this has two. One for going forward and one for going backwards. That's a repeating one. Perfect. All right, so now that we have that, and that's working like it should, we can continue on. And now we can reuse that same code. All right, perfect. So now animation sequence will save this thing off, which is easing, action, Sorry, cords, tangled cords. All right. Public after completed. Double duration. We need. We'll throw the delay in there. So we're gonna have all this repeats. Auto reverses. I wonder if there's a better name than auto reverses. All right. So now, I don't have keycaster on. All right. So now we'll do. Maybe reverses might be good enough. That might be better than auto reverses. I thought about like reversible, but then that's like saying, yes, it can be reversed, but should it? I don't know. Maybe reverses is better. Hate doing these because I sometimes forget one. That's it, right? Yeah. All right, so we've got that added in there. Yes, it's true. Because, yeah. We'll play in reverse. Actually, I wonder, that might not be clear, but I wonder if we did something like symmetrical animation. 'Cause that's really what it is. Or maybe we add a new one that says animates symmetrical, so we don't even have to pass that in. Symmetrical animation. I don't know. Something to think of. All right, so now this is going to get, that gives us everything we need to set it all up, right? And then we're going to do public t. All right. So that will give us, no, we still need to add the animation. Where am I looking for? I need the extension. All right. What were we calling it in that sample? Begin animation sequence. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This T. Oh, I need a T here. All right, that's all that's really going to do. Wait, what? What if we do... Does that fix it? Oh, wait, I need to do... That's the problem. I don't have where T is view. That fixes all of that. And I can go back. All right, so now that we have our animation sequence, here's what we do. We also need to make sure animations aren't called tick while it's still running the previous tick. So that way if like one animation, like someone does something horrible that's really slow, we don't want to slow down the whole animation engine because of that, because one bad animation. But we also don't want that bad animation to be like getting multiple commands at the same time. So that's something, don't let me forget, something we got to do today. All right, so now we have our animation sequence. So we can actually do why is it not liking that? Oh, I'm in the wrong spot. That's why. Let's fix that right. No, that should be right. This one, no, this one has to go here. Dot begin animation sequence. Dot end animation sequence. All right, so now that should all compile and work right. But now instead of here, we can do animate. I like it. All right, and then we can do this. All right. I don't want to do it on the same one though, because we'll have competing animators. But let's do it on this. This bottom text is now animated. So we'll do text.background color.fuchsia. We're just going to go through a rainbow, guys. In this begin sequence, I should tell it whether or not it repeats. I need some of that same stuff. All I really need to know is whether it repeats and reverses. And maybe a delay before it happens. And you might want an action for when it's completed. That stuff's important. Um, Do you guys like symmetrical? Does that make sense? I don't know. Would you ever want to reverse these animation sequences like that? Typically when you're doing the sequences, oh, yep, it does. I think I'm going to delete that anyway. For now, I'm not going to add that to a sequence. If you're doing a sequence, you can do it yourself. Maybe I'm wrong on that. It could be very wrong on that. We can add it back. We can add it later. We don't need duration because duration is going to come from whatever the current step is. All right. We'll go with that for now. For ease of implementation. All right, so now on end animation, we're going to do some calculation. We're going to say all right, so we have first first. Now, if we probably are going to need to keep track of which step we're on. All right. Let's do this out underneath here because this is going to get a little crazy because we're going to have to calculate each step when it's its step's turn. And this thing's going to reset itself. Actually, what we can do is figure out the duration. All right, so we know our duration now. And we're going to override the ticks on this thing. I don't think we're going to do this whole first thing. But what we will do, well, we will need this current dir. Ooh, whoa, wrong key. We're going to want that. All right, so now what we're going to say, and this thing could repeat. Sorry, emails. All right, so how we're going to do this? We're going to override on tick. We're going to need to keep track. We're going to need a function to say what our current one is and then what's next. All right, so All right. All right. So what we will do is we will do if current index is greater than or equal or to what do we call it? Steps dot count return null. Oh, actually, only if repeats. There we go. So now it can reset itself. Then we'll say all right. So now what this thing will do is like at the next animation we'll say var step equals steps an index. Animation extensions dot create animation. Step dot oh no. View step dot easing step dot action step dot completed duration step dot delay step dot repeats. Should you allow repeating in these things? Or maybe it needs like a repeat count. Because I'm thinking about an animation, and if you're doing a sequence of these things, if one's repeating, it's never going to move on to the next step. We're not going to pass repeating on for right now. That screws these things up. All right, repeating is going away. Along with we're doing a sequence here. Don't need that stuff. I think I'm right on trimming this down. Yeah, only the whole group can repeat. Exactly, not each individual animation, because you're screwed then. All right. So after delay, we're good. All right, so that's going to create this animation. If, and actually we're going to be sneaky here. Hope this doesn't create a loop. That shouldn't. All right. We're not just going to now return. The reason is, let's just say one step screwed up and return null for some strange reason. We're going to return the next one. All right. As finished. We're going to remove it. Actually, we can probably do current animation. I wonder. Wait, isn't that the right syntax? Do I not have C#6 enabled on this? I mean C#8. Did I do that wrong? I thought that was the right syntax. Is it equals question mark? Equals question mark. No? I totally thought that was valid syntax. Okay, it's that one. No. Let's Google that. #8 set value if null. Oh, it's 2 question marks. Is that it? It's not complaining anymore. New syntax. I like using it. I forget it. All right. Current animation equals null. We will say has finished equals true, and we're just going to return. We've got nothing to do. I'm sorry, we ended. I can set my own has finished, can't I? Oh, I have it as private. What we need to do is that has finished. All right. Fix that up. So now in our sequence, we say, all right, we finished. Return. Get out of here. Not needed anymore. All right, so now we don't have to do this. We'll do tick. And then we're actually going to go borrow a little of the actual animation code. Inside the tick, we do update we're going to throw that in there. All right, I think that's all we need. All right, let's try it. So we're going to animate the background color. Duration is 1 second. All right, let's copy these because we're going to do more of them. Let's go to some beige, why not? Let's send this thing all over the place. No, cayenne's too cool. Let's not do that. Let's lavender. And then we'll do one more to go back to the color we started with, since we're not doing a sequence. Fuchsia. And then we can set this thing to repeats true. All right. Should work. Oh, wait. And I didn't do it right. I didn't do that right. Let's go to this animation sequence. On end, we do that, then we also go animation manager dot add. This needs to add itself, or else it's never going to get those ticks. Excuse me. All right, animation sample. Why isn't that one doing anything? Uh-oh, lots of exceptions. Lots of exceptions. It's in the lerper. Oh, because there's no default color. We don't start with a color. So the start color doesn't have a default start color. We don't know what that is. We're going to do that for both of them. You don't specify a color, it's black. New default color. Exactly. All right, let's try this out. We have colors now. Wait, it's not animating! All right, I could have a bug. I could easily have a bug. Right. We should increase that index. Actually, let's do it here. After we get an index, we're increasing that puppy. That's where it should be. Thank you. It only stayed on fuchsia. All right, so it goes from black. Whoa. Our animation sequence works. Helps when you increment those loops. Let's set it to repeat false and see if it stops. You liking this? It's awesome. So exciting seeing all this work. Especially since, like I said, this is my first animation framework that I've ever written by myself. So I'm just glad it works. All right, and it's done and says, hey, we're done. Next animation's null. It has finished. Gets taken off the stack. That is amazing. All right, so let's audit this API. We like this? It's not too much. Begin animation sequence, then .animate, then .end animation sequence. And I should put, we haven't done any of the completed stuff, but the completes should not be per step. It needs to be here. Let's fix that. I mean, there's a chance you'd want it for each of them, but I don't know. Why have the beginning and end? You missed that part. So, when you're doing a Fluent API, just doing .animate isn't going to chain them or tell you you're going to chain these in a sequence, right? What this thing does is this returns the view because you need to be able to just say, hey, .font, .animate, .whatever, and it's just going to keep going, right? And always return that text. How do you chain them when it just keeps returning that view? Because if I do .animate here again, this one should not run in sequence. This one should run at the same time. So I need a way of saying we're doing a sequence. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's so that way when I say from now on, all of these are now, it's the builder's style, and I'm not the biggest fan of building, but it was the cleanest way to make it look the same and work the same. Yeah, so I can have two sequences in parallel, exactly. So now if I was to do start again, both of them are going to run at the same time. Correct. Because I should be able to run animations in parallel. And so this lets me know that these have to run sequential and every other one is just going to run, yeah. And even doing .then or something like that would kind of make sense. But again, what's coming out of this doesn't make sense because it's the view. It's not the actual animation that comes out. So that lets you just say, hey, here's a sequence of them. Yeah, it lets you be. I agree, because like on a button click, you're just going to say, hey, animate everything. All right, let's commit that. To branch off, as in. That's the default code formatting. But yes, I could bring those in again. So you know that's in a sequence. Yeah, it's happy with it. All right, let's make sure I code format these puppies before I commit them. All right, so wait, you're saying, oh, the first one. I agree. They should all be in the same place. Yeah, I'm not sure I follow what you're saying on that, Matt. So when you're saying branch off, you're saying like these animations could branch off and do multiple things? So like this one right now, I'm just doing text, but I could actually mess with this animated text as well. I'm not going to do the background color. We're already doing that. What other properties do I have on that? I mean, that's not going to animate, it's just going to set it. No, maybe it wouldn't. You're saying do that for other areas, not just in animations? Yeah, if there's other places that make sense to build that way, we can do that. Animations was the only one that made sense to me right now. But actually, oh, let's save this button off. So let me. So now I can even say inside of here, this one can do button. David! Why, hello! Thank you for the raid! Exciting! We are working on animations now in Comet, and they're working. So we just came out, there's two different styles of animations right now. Isn't that amazing? So every property in Comet is animatable by default, which is really exciting, including properties you guys add yourself. That's like one of my favorite things so far. Yeah, isn't that awesome? And so you look at the code to do it, all we do is say .animate, and then you change properties. That's it. And if you want to do a sequence, like I'm doing with that rainbow text, we say begin sequence. We'll set it back to repeating equals true. So that way this rainbow one just keeps going and going and going. Hey, Lachlan, thank you. Thanks for the cheer. And even this sequence is actually touching things outside of it. It's dealing with the text that it's on and also that button. So it's changing that. Well, this animation sequence is in charge of both of these, which is kind of fun. That's really fun. It's kind of trippy watching. Too many things flashing. Very ugly, but it's cool. That's all that matters. All right, so we've got that working. Let's make it to where an animation frame can't be called again until it's finished. And to do that, did I commit all this? Oh wait, let's commit all this. Hey, thanks for the follow, Jay Kelly. All right, so added animation sequence. And the best part about this animation's cross-platform. 100% cross-platform. So it's all working everywhere. I've tested on iOS, Android, and Mac. I haven't tested on Windows yet, but there's no reason it won't work on Windows. Let's try the new stuff on Mac. It works in Skia. It works in Skia. Right now, my Skia builds only work on iOS, and I don't know why. I need your help fixing that, Matt. So right now, we have an animated Skia. Like I said, any property works. So as long as you hook in and you build your controls using the Comet pattern, you can make any custom controls get animation for free. You don't even have to do anything. You just have to build your controls. So I didn't do button right. I realized I built button wrong, but I'm going to be rebuilding all the controls anyway in Skia. So let's go and snag this. And inside the samples, Skia animated sample. Didn't I do a... I could have sworn I built one last night. Did I put it outside? All right, let's go to the main. We'll find it. Skia button sample. Why is it called Skia button sample? All right, so this animate doesn't work. I need to fix that. But oh, remove the button because that doesn't make sense. All right, so now let's go run it. Animated Skia sample. Try that again. Maybe it didn't restart. So those new to it, Comet is a new UI framework I'm working on. Let me do the Comet command. So it's a C# Fluent API that lets you build fun things. Let's do... I might not have built background to be... Oh, I know it doesn't. Background's not right. Let's do text, because I know text is right. Now our color on this should work. That's what I was animating before, right? Animated Skia. There. So anything that you actually build appropriately will animate in Skia. And I'm going to be rewriting the Skia controls anyway. But yeah, so I've been working on the animation framework for it because everything needs an animation framework. And it's, like I said, every property by default is animatable as long as you regardless of its control, one of my own controls. That's the fun part about it. Now, the pattern I was talking about was right now when you're building controls, you get a notification whenever a property changes. If you choose not to listen to that, like I am on button in the background color, guess what? It's not going to update. But you can add whatever properties you want, and whenever those properties change, you're going to get a notification, which is how everything is animated by default, as long as you listen to the change notifications. And right now in Skia, in our controls, Skia control isn't doing the mapper stuff and is not appropriately listening to the background color changing. But text is, inside of SK text, thought I was. I have to be, or else I wouldn't getting those updates. Maybe I'm doing it at the control when the color changes. Either way, I'm rewriting these Skia controls right now. All of these are going to get a rewrite, and it's going to be better. And I want to do animation before I did that because I want to add animation between states in the Skia controls. So we can do like the ripple effect like you have in Material and all of that fun stuff. So I had to get animations working before we could do the rest of the stuff. All right, so let's fix animations a bit more. We're going to do something a little clever and cool inside of the animations to make sure only one animation draw happens at a time. Ship it, fix it in post. I want to fix this now. This will be good. I need to do it. It's something that if I don't do now, I'm going to forget. So we're going to do, it's a really cool pattern I like. That'll fix it. So animation, we're going to refactor this tick. And we're going to rename. All right. And can I rename this to be, no, you can't do that. Dang it. We're going to leave it as, we're going to make it protected. Then we're going to do public void tick. All right. So now whenever this tick stuff is happening, we want to make sure that we're not. The question, no, I don't want to take the time to send it to a different thread right now. So we have this locker, and I was using it because I thought it was a bug I was having. We're going to remove it for right now. Actually, I think we'll leave it. Yeah, we're going to leave it where it is. All right. We're going to add just a boolean says bool is animating equals false. Try to remember the right place to do this. We're going to remove the lock from this on tick. That's what we'll do. And we'll still leave the lock on reset. And now we'll just lock the locker here during tick. And now we'll just call on tick here. Now we might need to we're going to need to keep track of seconds that we skipped. So yes, let's do that. So skip seconds. Seconds plus equals seconds since last update. Then here is going to be this plus that, and then skipped seconds equals 0. If this is for multiple threads, then you also have the interlocking type. You don't think I need to do the locking? It could happen on multiple. I haven't done the multi-threading stuff yet, but I'm planning on doing this all in parallel. So right now, inside of our animation manager, I have a big to-do to fan this stuff out. But I'm not doing that yet. All right, if you don't think I need the locker, I'll remove the locker stuff. Locking does slow things down. I just wanted to be safe. I'll trust you, Matt. Okay, now what we'll do is animating equals true, is animating equals false. And actually, I'm going to put this in a try. Yeah, it should be fine. Throw that in there. So we always go back to the is animated equals false. Or is animating equals false. So now this on tick is only going to be called once in a while. And we're going to skip. And what's nice about this is every time we skip seconds, we're just going to add that together. So that way, whatever the next animation call knows, it needs to jump ahead. And now this should make it to where if one of our little animation ticks is really slow, and because it can't animate at 120 frames per second like an iPad can, or on your screen 60 frames per second, or these Android devices, one of them might be a really fast animation and work really quick, and the other one might be doing something horrible and slow. It'll all work out. And you'll still have fast animations and slow animations without them all ticking along at the same slow pace, which that's pretty exciting. Now I'm wondering how often the skip is going to get called. Or on my machine, I'm hoping it'll never get called. Uh-oh, this needs to be protected now. Is that it? Hopefully that's it. Copy link. Paste and go. All right, let's check that out. All right, I'll read through this later. So you're saying, oh, all right, I'll read through that later. Whoa, 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 what's this complaining about? Oh, my tests. I didn't fix the test when I fixed that. I need to get CI working again. Tomorrow, Sweeky is going to join me, and we're going to fix CI. Really exciting. All right, so let's refactored and didn't refactor the tests. Like a noob, I didn't run my tests. All right, and now we need to do that up here. All right, one more. Oh no, we didn't do, all these are wrong. Actually, let's run my tests, make sure they fail. That'd be funny if they didn't. All right, tests, build tests. Oh, I see what you're saying. I can do a skip rather than locking and waiting because I just don't care. Oh, it's locked, move along. That makes sense. Okay, let's make that work then. I get what you're saying. All right. So if exchange indicates the method is in use. Not the nicest looking API. So what's the using reference? Okay, let's do that. All right, let's fix that. And then we're gonna kill the lock. Actually, the locker needs to wait for the reset though. Can I tell this thing to wait? In like certain instances, like I need to wait? It's alright. I don't think this reset's ever really gonna be an issue. I just did it for fun. Because I was, alright. I like it. I've never used this class before. Alright, so what we'll do, using resources, and then we have interlocked exchange. If using it, so, to be honest, I actually don't need, this will work for now. This really will. So we say, did I close that link? That's right. I'm just going to go with this. This will really, really work. I'm happy with it because I don't think the reset really needs it. I mean, I guess if someone has a really, really, really slow draw thing, it's potentially possible, but yeah. All right. So if it's being used, do this. And then I need to say it's not being used anymore. Finally. All right. I like it. That should work. Now let's see if we ever get any of these. Like, I don't think it ever will happen on my computer. It's potentially possible. Wow. Do I really have that many red tests? Ooh, I need to spend some time on tests. Yeah, we're not even ever hitting that. Did I take that out of the animation sample? Samples, samples, let's add that back in. Oh no, it's there. Why wasn't that animating? What happened? Oh. That can't be static like they were doing. This int is for, it made it to where only one animation could happen at a time, which is not what we ever want. Wait, I still have that as static. Yeah, I. I'm like, why did all the animations stop? Well, we know it's working. And actually, we don't even need this as animating nonsense then. That's all right. Now here, his animating is not needed anymore. Now I'm gonna make it static. Just oh, no, I guess we don't need to. I was gonna say do it just to trigger that delay. Exactly. Using resources is. I don't even need to care. If the lock fails, we skipped. It's the same thing. I was doing a double check. Simulator. All right, restarting my simulator. I like it. That's a new. I've never used that interlocked exchange. I like it. All right, now we have multiple running at the same time. Nice. Let's make this static. Oh. All right, now doing this, it's going to cause it to not work like it should because the ones repeating will never ever release. So it's just going to go skip, 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 skip. I just want to make sure that's happening. Yep. And only that top one is going. All right, perfect. Let's make this unstatic. Perfect. Oh, that's perfect. Let's run our animation tests. And our lerp tests, because those are the ones that I just redid. Actually, we'll run them all. All my tests should work. I hope. Lerp tests failed! Oh, I didn't finish all these. Yeah, that's what, right, they should fail. Of course you failed. When you change a method signature and don't change the tests to match, they fail. All right, so now those should be good. All right, animations now and lag behind indie. I still need to parallel them because technically they can't. All right, let's run all tests. Maybe we'll fix some tests if tests are wrong. I don't know why anyone would be broken right now. We do have broken tests. Not many. State reloading I know is a little broken. That one shouldn't be broken. Again, I wish I had my CI up and working. Tomorrow we'll fix CI. Sweeky's gonna come on and we're gonna get CI fixed, and then I won't have issues with this anymore. Alright, not fixing those right now. Alright, so that's working with the animations. Let's fan this thing out. Let's do it. Can't you do... Is it dot as parallel? Is it just parallel dot for each? Alright, parallel for each, we'll say... Right, I was doing this so that way we can edit that. Animations. That really all I had to do? That was like the easiest for each ever. Is that... So that's just going to return out when it's done. All right. Well, that's exciting. Let's make sure I'm doing that right. Yeah, that's it. We just paralleled all those. Wow. Actually, yeah, that should be fine. We might want to do that locking here, just as an extra one. And then, what was that? I don't remember. There we go. And I changed it because I like this pattern better, just return, since it's only the one. So if we haven't gone through, I don't know if we should lock here actually. Because if one of those is still locked off, it won't go. We're good. We don't need that. Good night, Rogi. All right, that's nice. Let's make sure it all still works. It should work. All that stuff's thread safe. Supposed to be. And we may want to do animation. Just in case. Is there a dot try remove? No. I just don't want it to crash because it exists. All right, so animation sample. Wait, did that do something right? Whoa, whoa. Things are firing out of order on that one. That's interesting. That definitely introduced a bug. All right. Oh. Oh. I know what the problem is. The chained stuff is fighting. We need to be able to lock. Our animation detection for the chain stuff is broken. It's not an issue when we're not running them in parallel, but the moment we run them in parallel, that animation detection is not thread safe. All right. So here's what we need to do. Let's make it animate. Let's make it. All right. Easy enough to do, right? We can do that. Make thread detection. All right. So see if this works. There's a chance it will. We're probably gonna have to put some locking in here. No. All right, so now when we're checking for... No, wrong one. I want to look for this one. Actually, the null check will be faster. Let's see if that cleans it up a little. We might have to put some locking in here now for starting and monitoring these things. That's better. It's now multi-threaded! Multi-threaded animation detection! All right, let's clean that up a tad bit more though. This does need a locker. I mean, the other way of doing that would be to make it to where we have a dictionary of monitor of threads versus these. And then we can actually have more than one monitor the same thread. That could be really cool. Oh, that's working. Threads. Threads are fun, guys. They get you. All right, that is... What do you guys think? Should we make it to where we lock like this? Because this will work because these happen on a background thread anyway. Or should we optimize it so you can actually monitor the changes for an animation from multiple threads at the same time? Have only one thread. No, no need, no need. So right now, I mean, what do you think? Should we lock? This should be a fast thing. Because all we're doing is detecting changes in that action. We're going to go like this. I think this works. We could do something even cleverer. Because technically, you could still do monitor. If this does work, but it does have a slight potential for a for a bug. Slight. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it better. All right. We're gonna make it foolproof. Because either, we're gonna go the dictionary route. It'll be better. Because this is still locking it, it'll fix it, but we're gonna go the dictionary route. What if they both happen to be on the same thread, though? I don't think that. Yeah. Can't decide. We're gonna do this one. We'll go back to this one. We'll do the Watcher. All right. So make this thing iDisposable. Any second now. Actually, will that work? Or can I just do it? I know we can do this lock, but can't you just say this thing is locked and then unlock it later? I'm pretty sure you can. I know you can do the use lock like that. But then I can do this. Yes. Enter. All right, we're going to switch this. The reason is I don't want anything else entering until this one exited. If we're locking like this, we need to do that. All right. And then we'll do try, and we're not going to release it. I wonder what they didn't catch though. Do we even need to try that? I don't think we do. Yes, I've used the semaphore before. I use that in Gmusic, and I can't remember the syntax on that. I use that for my audio playback, my streaming stuff. Then, but this is all doing asynchronous stuff. Yeah. Let's go Gmusic. There's something what's that stupid thing called? There's something in there that they all use. It's the stream. It's a something stream. Is it QStream? It's my caching stream that deals with caching, reading and writing to the disk, and getting data from the web at the same time. I can't remember the name of that stupid file. All right, I know where it's at in the file. It would be in shared data QStream. There we go. So the QStream, oops, didn't mean to change that music, does this now. So when you're waiting for data, oh no, I'm doing a plock. And then I also monitor pulse. That's what it is. By doing that, if someone's waiting for it, you can say, I'm done. Is that right? Am I reading that right? What's the monitor pulse? I'm trying to remember how that works. It's something like that. Want to make sure I do this right. Oh, they're not going to give me any sample code. All right. Only the current owner of a lock can signal a waiting object using pulse. Maybe someone explains it better here. Grab the lock. Lock. Okay, enter and exit are what I want. So if we just enter and then, these should be good. If we just do enter and then exit. Let's undo this. Oops, according to those docs, we do monitor.enter. Do I need to, I need to tell something to wait for it, right? And actually I can just do, that's what I was looking for. Monitor.wait, right? And then right here, I can just say monitor.exit. Is that right? Ah, yes, this is all. This is kind of what I'm looking for, right? Wait until it's available. Let's make sure this actually fires. That'll let us know. I just want to make sure more than one of them aren't reading and waiting because this is a global thing here. And we only want one of those animation blocks happening at a time. We are building what is called Comet. And we're working on the animation framework in Comet right now. And we're making it multi-threaded animation framework. Object is not synchronized. Do I need to do this? It's been so long since I've dealt with this nonsense. Normally you use async and await and don't have to, but when you're writing a framework, you don't always get that luxury. Actually, it might be better just to make it work from any thread. Right? Yes, if someone knows how to do this better and they're watching, I apologize. That might be right. Because we're able to enter again. Or else that text wouldn't be changing. And if they're watching, dying inside, and not telling me what to do, that's on them. Those jerks. Leaving me out to dry. Live in front of everyone. Alright, I think that's right though. I think doing that enter, it can't go. We're telling it wait until we call the manual exit. I think. I hope. We're going with it. Discard you. All right. Oh no, I need threading.tasks. Let's commit this stuff. Just running my format command. And we're going to do that on, yeah, we're good there. All right, animations are now multi-threaded. We're going to do some of this code formatting actually on a second one because that's how I roll. So actually we do need this one. Now we'll commit code formatting, commit, discard, push this up. All right. What other animation stuff should we do? It's not running in parallel. I'm pretty excited about that, and that's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know if any other frameworks let you do animations in parallel. So if one animation's being a bad citizen, it doesn't screw all of us. I like that. We need to make it to where you can get access to all the running animations. And so you can like cancel out all the animations for a specific view or pause them. We don't have a pause. Still should be easy to do. Oh, that's just so awesome. I'm sorry, I just enjoy watching that. Can you add a feature to slow down animations? Yeah, it doesn't matter how long you've been coding, multi-threading is always hard. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, we could add a coefficient to it. So, animation manager. Would you want to, yeah, public, static, double, or no, public static, bool enable. I want to make it to where you can enable it so we're not doing the math every time. Although it shouldn't be, it should be fine. Static, would you only want it in debug builds, you think? Public static animation, what do we want to call this? Debug, actually I can't tell if it's in debug mode or not. We're just going with it. All right, so we're just going to do that. And then, so all we'd have to do then, so we'd want to multiply that on this tick. Right now we'll do ticks times speed modifier. So now we'll put it at like we'll put it at 2. This should make them go really fast. Easy feature request. I like those ones. Animation sample. Right, that sped it up a lot. And now let's go with like 0.3, 0.1. Nice and really, really, really slow. And even though the animations are going really, really, really slow, it's still smooth. Because it's not, I didn't really slow down the FPS. So yeah, there we go. Is that what you wanted? There we go. We have a speed modifier. All right. Still looks better fast. And as I mentioned, that does work on Android too. Last I checked. Make sure I didn't break Android. All right, I'm going to take a really quick break, refill my water while my Android emulator loads. You all know how long that can take. Be right back.
If I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer.
All right, I'm back. All right, so okay, it switched. Yes, so let's go into that same one. And the layout's broken on Android, so but it's still animating, even that layout change. Now, Matt, this is a question for you. That's all broken on Android, and I know that, so ignore that. But if I click into the Skia sample on here, my Skia stuff's broken on Mac and on Android. Sorry, I'm totally eating a snack pack. Check this out. Oh, wrong one. Curse me. Try again. So next week I've got John Lipsky that's going to hang out with me, and we're going to fix some stuff. So hopefully we'll fix some of the Android layout stuff, and then we'll fix the Skia. Okay, so it's animated Skia sample. Boom. Every time. Every time. And then you mentioned that it was working for you. And I've cleaned. I've done everything. And the output. Get font runs. You said this was working for you, right? And then on Mac, we had talked about what was wrong on Mac, and that was something, it's using the .NET Standard deal instead of the Mac one, which is weird. I think you told me how I can fix that, but I hadn't done that yet. Yeah, but it doesn't work for me on Android. And that's on the dev branch too, not even just my animation one. My Skia just does not work on Android right now. As soon as I try text shaping. Okay, that'd be great. All right, so we've got that working. What else do we do on animations? I wonder if the animations is getting close. Oh, let's deal with pausing and stopping, and I wonder if we pass in an identifier. So if you pass an identifier, you can do like view find by identifier. Because typically you're just going to do an animation, fire, and forget it. But there are certain animations you're going to want to access and deal with. So maybe we do an ID. Trying to think what that API should look like. So let's go to our samples, go back to the animation sample. I'm almost thinking like this button should have like a pause all animations, but it shouldn't pause every animation. It should just do the one for this view. So if here we just did like this dot animate, we should be able to animate things. Or this dot animations dot pause, or ID. I don't know. At the same time, if we're doing that, we could just do data binding. So we have an, I mean, if we're going to go that route, instead of doing that, I'd almost rather just say, add a new state. And then here, we just do dot, this dot value equals not should animate. Right? You'd think that's what we do, is have a toggle button like that to pause it and resume it. And then these animations, we could bind to that state. I mean, we can do that. That's more the right style of these. The question then becomes, what happens if something's not set to repeating? It ends, and then you hit the state to true. Should we recreate and rerun that? Right now I'm disposing of all done and unused animations. I'm not keeping them around. We could keep track of them at the view level, and so that way they're only disposed when the view's disposed. Anyone have thoughts on that? Hmm. And it probably wouldn't be too hard to add in like view.pause animations as well anyway, just like a global stop all the animations. But I'm wondering if I should do something with that state. All right, let's deal with making animations pausable. Pauseable. We can do this. Let's go to Comet Animations. Animations. Easy enough. We now support pausing. Now I'm just thinking through. I'm thinking we're going to change the way this stuff works right now. So right now, we're not keeping track of animations anywhere really. They're just off somewhere. We could also make, when they're paused, we can also have, we'll just remove them from the animation stuff. I like that. So we're going to change this. So now, maybe I'll let you toggle it, but I'm thinking that when we do a pause, and then animation manager, we should remove it from the animation so we're not even, let's just go make something so we can remove them. All right, so we'll do public static void, remove. Um, I wish there was like a try remove. Maybe we'll add our own extension to that. Because I want like a try remove. Helpers. Don't I have something for lists or arrays? List extensions. Yay. All right. Public static void. That should be a boolean. This, say I list. Perfect. Okay, so now we can just go into here and just do animations dot try. That should just be in the comment namespace. I would have used this elsewhere too. All right, I'm also going to use it right here. And we're going to put it here as well, just to speed things up. Oh, right, okay, if animation's any. We're also going to do that here after remove. All right, so now inside the animation on pause, remove this. It's just going to get removed from the stuff. All right, see you later, Dillbot. I do need to make sure that we only pause the root, but that should be fine. Well, that's fine. It'll only do that now anyway. All right. And then all we have to do is add it. And now we can pause or remove a specific animation. If it's already animating, if it's still in one of those queues, because we're doing that multi-threaded, this tick should take care of it. It's where we say if it's paused, don't do anything. That should be good. All right. So now I'm going to change stuff up a little bit because right now the only place that views are managed or the animations are managed is globally in the animation manager, which is fine. It needs to know what it cares about. But the views also need to know about their animations. So thinking of, I'm going to put a section down here for animations. All right, so what'll be nice about this is where we'll tell animations to start. Because right now on view did appear and on view did disappear, we're going to pause and start them, which is going to be great. I really like that. All right. Actually, we can probably get away with lazy building that. All right, so now all right, so now we'll do animations dot, I don't know, question mark, question mark. That way we'll lazy load this list. Now what we'll do is we're also going to need to, on the dispose, right here, clear those out. That's when the animations will all go away. Now, do add animation. All right. Oh wait, what we want to do is say animations, create, not create, we'll just return animations, else return that. Weird logic, I know, but that's how we need to do it. All right, so get animations dot add animation. Do we keep track of it if it has appeared or not? Like if this view is on screen? For now, what we're doing is we're just going to say yeah, we'll do it right here. So we're probably going to want to move this to where this happens on appeared or on viewed appeared. All right, view manager dot add animation. All right, so now each view has a list of its own animations. This will let us to do, let's make this public. Um, I wonder if the view, I just want to put this here and see if we can make this work. I might not leave it here. So, thinking this through. If we set this at a root level, I'm just trying to think how it needs to walk up the chain. Because, okay, I think I know what to do. So what we'll do here is we'll just say animations. Actually, I don't even need this. Yeah, it's all right. We'll do that. For each stop pause. And we're going to do the same thing here. Oh, I've got those backwards. All right. Actually, formatting that page may have just been bad. Did it do everything? I didn't do too much. All right. So now we have that. Now we need to think about the ones that are like containers. Like content view. Override. Um, pause. Do the same thing here. Now we also have the container view, this one, which is going to have a list of its children. Gonna do, guess what? The same thing. Override, resume. And I'm hoping, let's find all references of that, because that should show us everywhere. Yeah, content and container. Those are the only two that really do it. All right, let's hope that, oh, my Android simulator is making weird noises. Close that thing down. Let's hope that covers it. So now I should be able to shut my simulator down, which I can never do, ever. Quit doesn't work. I always force quit the stu. Oh, nope, it worked that time. I normally have to force quit it. All right, so we've got that working. We still need a way to look up a specific animation. All right. Let's go check this out. Let's see if we can make this even work. So let's go back to our sample. Animation sample. See if pausing and resuming works. It should animate. We'll do this dot pause. Oh no. All right, now that button. Oh, I didn't want to do this on Android. I just shut that emulator down. So much slower. That's right, I have enough RAM now to actually run that thing. Much faster. All right. What? What is this? Oh, state has required to be read-only. Forget about that. I'm gonna work on a better telling you how to do that rather than just crashing. In the process, well, it's in the to-do things to do. There's all the log manager stuff, which exists there. We're going to tie into that, so that way instead of throwing exceptions, we'll throw it to the log manager. Then the log manager will actually in debug present UI saying, hey, you screwed up. So it won't crash, which is good because if it crashes during a hot reload, guess what? You have to stop and restart. Pause. Pause. Why won't you pause?
60% of the time, it works every time.
I know why. I'm an idiot. Idiot. That's what it was. Found it. All right, now I need to do this on this end sequence as well. It needs to do the same thing. Oh, I somehow started the breathe exercise on my watch without paying attention. All right, that'll work. All right, no, I'm not. Cancel. Cancel breathing. Don't believe in that anymore. Who breathes? All right. Animation sample. Pause. Pause. Hmm. Oh, 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 oh. Ah, ha, ha, ha. I know, I know. I know it. I'm not passing it on to the built view. All right, when we're here, We need to do two things. One for hot reload, one for just the way Comet works. All right. Built view. All right. So there's just because we have a view, there are, yeah. Notification. Oh, check it out. Notification view. That's all I need to do. I already did that once. So when you hot reload something, you get the replaced view because the view is replaced. When you're doing like we're doing here with this animation sample, the built view is this vertical stack, not this sample. And so yes, we passed it to this, but we need to pass it to the vertical stack, which has all the children. Paused. Oh, come on. What was null? Question mark? How'd I miss a question mark there? And these also need it too, let's be honest. How is views null? Oh, maybe it was one of those inside of there. All right, let's try that again. Pause. Yeah, it's something inside of there. Didn't I put a question mark there? Could have sworn I did. I think I did the first time, then I rewrote it, and the second time I didn't. Paused! Paused! Resume! Pause! Resume! Can't pause a specific one, but we can pause them all. And that's a big win so far. Now I could pause them on just this view. I could say this text view dot pause. So what we could do is allow you to pass an identifier in, an optional identifier, and then you could look up the animation yourself. All right, let's go with that. And the beautiful thing about this is when we pause this, if we go put a breakpoint in the animation manager, the ticks aren't even firing anymore. We actually turn that off. Well, we're supposed to. So it's not even firing since there's no animations. We didn't do a global pause. We paused just this view. If we were to do a global one, it'll be super easy. Just tell it to, hey, don't pause, don't run there anymore. And then whenever we start it, we do reset that, right? We start. Yes, we reset it. All right, well, that's great. I don't know why that's so much fun to play with. All right, sweet. All right, so let's commit that. Oh, did I already do that? Okay, I did. Losing my mind. All right, we now kind of have access to animation. Now you do have access to them. There's no remove though. Now I'm telling it not to recreate in case someone calls remove on one that doesn't actually exist there. We just don't care. So let's do this. Let's leave that there. If you did appear, let's do that way whenever the view disappears, all of its animations will be stopped. And animation, I just want to check on its dispose. We're also going to try remove it on that. Remove. That way, yeah. All right, I'm liking that. Wait, what's that one flash there? Is that? It's like it shrinks for a second there. Oh, it's one of the font sizes and color. Something happened. So that didn't happen the first time I was playing with it because, oh, doesn't pausing it tell it to remove? I could have sworn when an animation pauses itself, the ad doesn't double check. Animation Manager can have some of them on there twice. That's why we're watching that flicker. That's what was happening. We were double adding some of the animations. I know why that's happening because we add it, then we add them again on appearing. There we go. We're still getting, it's better. Let's pause. Animation manager should not. Sorry, the animation, this pause thing should never be firing. Yes, and it's not now. The only way is if it was still processing one. Alright. Resume and pause on hearing. Alright, push that up. Any other thoughts, guys? What else should we do? I wonder if we should just get this thing merged in. I'm really excited with it. This has been fun. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to build on this right now. Anyone have any other thoughts I want to see? If not, I might actually end soonish just because I'm live streaming a lot lately. Nobody? Bueller? Bueller? Silence. Says there's 6 of you. Alright. Maybe I'll end with that then. That's been fun. Do I have anyone on I know that is streaming? Maybe we can raid somebody. See who's out there streaming. See if there's something fun going on. Alright. No one has anything else they want me to build or work on, so that works. We will go find someone to raid. Let's see what people are working on. Let's go check out Callow Creations. All right, thanks guys. It's been fun. I'm gonna keep working on this more this week. Like I said, next week's gonna be fun. I'm gonna have John Lipsky joining me, and we're going to work on building some more of the stuff out. Hopefully we'll get some of the Skia stuff going. Now that we have animations working, we can start doing Skia controls and animating the Skia controls based off state change, which is going to be awesome. So your buttons and things can react based on that state. That's going to be fun. I'm really, really excited for that. And yeah, let's jump over there. All right. Thanks, guys. I'm going to end the stream, and I'll see you guys later.